Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here. It is time once again for This Week in Master Duel, the series we do, well, obviously once a week, wherein we cover all of the events that have happened within Master Duel. Not to be confused with this month in Master Duel, which Konami has seemed to have co-opted for their monthly releases, but now you know what, it's all good. No, it's all good. Anyway. So, as always as ever, we're going to start by looking at some notifications here in client, which is not going to be a lot. It's actually just going to be the one about the Duelist Cup rankings. Oh, you know what? No. We have the tryout duels to talk about as well. But most importantly, today we have the Duelist Cup top 100 list to look at. I've not looked at them at all yet, so it'll be a surprise to me as to everything that's on there. We'll go ahead and see what all is there, and we also have some leaks to talk about, as well as very briefly we'll talk about some tournament results too. So as I said, we're going to start off here in game. Duelist Cup rankings have finished. Duelist Cup is done. So if you have not collected your special tickets or whatever yet in the shop, definitely make sure to do that, so that way you can get your Legacy Pack cards if you're excited for them. I for one pulled my 7th copies of Norlarius in Transmission Gear. Woo! So got a few tryout duels going on here in the very near future. One of them is going to be Extreme Duel 1, 30 seconds. Time limit for the duel is 30 seconds. One funny thing is that the game actually recommends that you change your settings to auto placement for this mode, which is very smart. But when I read this, about changing card positions, my first thought was like, can we play a deck of just all zone fuckery, like just a bunch of cards that mess with zones? Then you can always put them in the auto place columns because you know everybody's gonna be playing there, but that might be getting a bit too meta with it. Second Extreme Duel is gonna be 2024 life points. So yeah, towards the end of the year you can duel with, well, 2024 life points. It's cute, but, well, let's talk about this one too. And then Dragon type only. You'll be able to use a loner deck that only contains Dragon type monsters this time around. Use each deck to your advantage and win rewards. Some cute ideas for the tryout duels here. I'm kind of surprised that Dragon... Well, I was going to say, I'm kind of surprised Dragon type only is a tryout duel and not a festival. But I wonder if it was originally going to be a festival, and then after the poor feedback from, like, the Fairy Fiend event, and, like, the King of Beast Island or whatever the fuck it was called, maybe they decided to kind of pull back on that. Also, I feel like a Dragon type only festival, would it even really be that interesting? It's like, you'd have to ban, like, all the D-Link stuff, and then at that point, it's like, you just kind of pick a Dragon archetype, right? It's like, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, that is my biggest gripe with most Master Duel festivals, is that they're, like, they kind of boil down to, alright, pick the strongest archetype that fits the criteria, but I've already had that rant before. As far as the other two, they're cute, but are these actual good formats? No. You know what, the low timer one is actually interesting. 2024 life point. This is such a god-awful format. Like, it's cute. It's 2024 life points, but, like, actually starting at 2,000 life points for an event, like, that's terrible. No. 30 seconds is a cute idea, but I don't... We'll see. I mean, they're just tryout duels. I don't know about you all, but I always skip them anyway, because they each only give exactly one selection pack. But, you know, I guess they're there if you are interested. Okay. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of the video here. I'm going to switch over to Master Duel meta, and gotta switch my screen capture to that as well. Boom. Let's go over the leaks real quick. It's one that I think pretty much everybody saw coming, and that is Super Heavy Samurai. The most noteworthy cards here are the Motorbike and the this particular Pendulum monster, the the Prodigy Wakaushi. I almost assuredly butchered that, and apologies for doing that. But, yeah, I mean, these are going to be, like, the main good cards from what I understand. Like, yeah, this one is just Rhoda for any Super Heavy Samurai monster. And the Pendulum Scale here allows you to... Well, this Pendulum Monster, rather, allows you to set up a Pendulum Scale. And also this card's monster effects are very, very good. So... I'm not too knowledgeable about the archetype as a whole, like all this other stuff too. I just know what I've seen people use in like the TCG and OCG. Adamantipator's Super Heavy Samurai will not be as much of a thing here in Master Duel because we do have Block Dragon banned. It was very much a thing in the OCG, but of course, the lack of Block Dragon definitely did not stop Super Heavy Samurai from doing well in the TCG either. So I would expect that this archetype will see a very good amount of meta play. Mostly, again, these two cards. Again, I can't speak for the rest. I don't see other people using it, so I assume it's not as good as these two. But, alright, I think that's the only leak we really have. Other than that, it's just this Dynamorphia one we've already covered in the past. So, Duelist Cup Top 100. Let's get into it. I have not scrolled down from here, like, at all. So, okay, Vanquished Soul takes the most spots with Despian Pearly following up. Dragon Link is actually lower than well, here's the thing. Dragon Link is lower than you would expect it to be for its place in the meta, but it's not the most surprising to see it here. This kind of far down in the top 100 Duelist Cup. I've mentioned this when talking about October's Duelist Cup results, and I'll mention it here too. One thing that is super duper important to keep in mind when evaluating the Duelist Cup top 100 decks is that this is not a representation of the ladder or tournament metagame right now. What I mean by that is the Duelist Cup is such its own isolated thing. Like, obviously the decks that are generally good in the meta are still going to perform well here, but the fact that you are valued not for consistency over a long period of time or within the very short confines of a tournament, but rather, you're expected to play continuously over 72 hours, which is frankly really stupid, and I highly encourage everybody on your surveys to encourage Konami to do better as far as how they structure the Duelist Cup. It's not healthy. Doing anything for 72 hours, even playing Yu-Gi-Oh!, is not healthy to do, and there have been other games, like Grand Blue, where they have had formats like this, and they end up canceling these formats because people went to the hospital because they played games for 72 hours straight. This format is atrocious. It's god-awful. It's miserable. And I hate it. So, but now that I got that out of the way. The fact that you're expected to play as many games as possible over 72 hours means that decks that have longer games, like Dragon Link, might not be as valued as decks like Vanquished Soul. Now, Vanquished Soul often does have longer games than Dragon Link in terms of turn count, but what Vanquished Soul can do is it can establish control of the game fairly early. Sometimes even just by flipping up there can be only one. And again, in the interest of getting in as many games as possible in the Duelist Cup, lots of players who are aiming for that #1 spot will concede more easily than they would on ladder to a card like there can be only one, right? Like, yeah, you could sit there and wait to draw your out for the Floodgate, or you could just concede and go on to the next duel. Yes, you will lose instead of win, but if you win multiple games in the time it would have taken you to have drawn that out and maybe win against the Floodgate, then it becomes more worth it to concede the one game and then win two in the time you maybe would win one. But, so yeah, that's why I think the graph here, that's why I think Dragon Link is so particularly low. It's also why you see Pearly, or at least I anyway, see Pearly more in like the Duelist Cup and tournaments than you do on ladder. Pearly is a deck that would do very well on ladder, but people tend not to bring it to ladder because of... it could be any number of factors, especially when it comes to Pearly. I think a lot of the disappeal or the unappeal of Pearly is the fact that it, like, you have to click so many prompts, and the deck is actually harder to play in Master Duel than Paper, but Pearly also, like, you just kind of make the Noir, and then you're usually good, right? And people will usually concede to that, again, in the Duelist Cup pretty easily in the interest of saving time, so... it makes sense to see Pearly higher here than you would see it ranked on a tier list for, like, Rank Ladder or something. So, I just wanted to establish that. I wanted to establish that Duelist Cup is a different meta than Ladder or Tournament. So, hey, Ryan got ranked #1. I actually didn't know that. I finished first in the Duelist Cup this past weekend. Team 7 will be back at Worlds. Thanks to all of my friends for their support. Good luck to RJ for the rest of the season as well. These are the decks I used. I started out with Zoo to get out of the low ranks, then climbed to Dragon and switched to Lab the last 2 hours. So, got a Zodiac list here. Zodiac getting you out of the low ranks does make a lot of sense for sure. Zodiac in general does seem like it's just a very good Duelist Cup pick. for its ability to play its turns quickly, have simplified game states, which means you can play them out more quickly. And then, you know, you got stuff like D-Shifter and Goes In, which can lock duelists out of games very quickly. Enough that they, or not even lock them out of the game, but put them at such a disadvantage right at the start that they might just want to concede, again, just move on to the next game. So, then climbed with Dragon, and then switched to Lab for the last 2 hours. Wow. I don't know enough about Duelist Cup metas to know why switching to Lab for the last 2 hours was the optimal choice, but at that point, you know, when you're competing for the #1 spot, especially, like, you get very familiar with, who's up there with you, so it could have just easily been a meta call against specifically the other people at the top ranks. That's the other reason why Duelist Cup results don't tend to accurately represent tournament or ranked ladder meta, is because, yeah, by the time you get to the upper ranks, you're not even just countering the meta as a whole, you're noting what specific other people are playing, and you're countering them specifically, so. And then, here's RJ with Vanquish Soul here. Got another Vanquish Soul list after that. I'm going to scroll, because we're going to have 100 lists to look at. I'll go through them relatively quickly, unless one catches my eye. Got a 60-card branded list here. Cool. Looks like this person was on a couple of different branded lists. That's actually really interesting that they... Or is this just the same deck twice? No. There's some difference. Hang on, let me see if I can spot it. Also, Grasp with 51 cards is very interesting. Not even bad. Just interesting for sure. Alright, let's do a little spot the difference here. Okay, this list has Herald of the Abyss. This one does not. Is that really it? Is that like the main difference here? They play the same number of trap cards. Now I'm looking backwards. I'm trying to figure out what this list has and this one doesn't, because they're the same number of cards. Branded opening. Oh, Branded and High Spirits. Okay, this one is 2 Branded and High Spirits. This one has 1 other card that this list doesn't have. I think it's a spell. But in any case, so yeah, as you can see, even a couple of card difference based on what you're seeing makes sense. I wonder if this person had a side list that played Herald of the Abyss, in case they're running into a lot of like Pearly or something, or just decks in general that Herald is good against. Again, very, very, very specific meta calls based on not the meta at large, but very specifically who you're playing against, which again does mean that this tends not to accurately represent the meta as a whole. Again, I don't want to say that these decks are bad or anything, or that they're very, very different. Obviously, any one of these lists would do very well with the right pilot in ladder or a tournament, but the specific deck building choices are a result directly of the Duelist Cup. Okay, branded list there. Lots of branded in top 10. Number 10 was Ghost Trick Pearly. Even with the hits, this person was still bringing the Ghost Trick Pearly deck. I wonder if they were still going for the double Noir line. I feel like that would make more sense to do in the Duelist Cup again than any other format. This person was on Pearly and also Trizu with Blackwing Gust the Backblast. If you control no... Oh, okay, so this is a tri-type level 2 that can conditionally special itself from hand. That's cool. That's really cool. I like that a lot. Got another Ghost Trick Pearly list here. And just watch. After these results, you're going to see Ghost Trick Pearly on Ranked Ladder again. I observed that with Pearly last season. It was very interesting how... And I talked about this before, but like... Before October's Duelist Cup, Pearly, just regular Pearly without Ghost Tricks, was fairly frequent to see on Ranked Ladder. Then, the Ghost Trick build came out, and then that build was popular to see on Ranked Ladder. But then when they hit this build, people stopped playing this deck altogether, even though the pre-Ghost Trick builds did experience success beforehand. It's just a very interesting phenomenon to observe. Okay, here we have another Vanquish Soul list, this one running a Cashier package. Pearly not on the Ghost Trick package here. Dragon Link, 40 cards with 3 Upstart. Wow. That's cool, actually. That's wow, I can't believe they fit everything into 37 cards. Neat. Alright, we got 50 card branded list here. Playing the Bestial Aliber. Another 60 card branded list here. Hey! Hey, look, it's Runic Stun. Wow, that Fountain to 1 sure did a lot, didn't it? It's almost like this is the variant of Runic least affected by the hit. Wow. Don't mind me. I'm just adjusting my... I need to make an actual I told you so hat for my like sprite over here, but just adjusting my I told you so hat. Don't mind me. All right. That was a another branded list that we passed over there. Okay, here we have another Ghost Trick Pearly build. This person looks like they bounce between D-Link and Vanquish Soul. Definitely makes sense. It definitely makes sense too, because like if you want to play like two different kinds of like having two different completely like kinds of strategies ready, like a more combo and a more control one, definitely makes sense. Here we got Kashira as well as Labyrinth on, wow, what a list here. Lots of floodgates, including 2 power sync stones. Okay. And we got 3 of the Karma Cannon. Dang, this, oh, this was a Tomahawk build too. Wow, okay, that's actually a pretty interesting list this person had. Ghost Trick Pearly again. Here's Tear Laments with the Pineapple, the Soldier Palm. Fengli the Soldier Palm. I maintain that's the most made-up sounding name ever, but rocking the new Trivikarma card. Cool, good to see, good to see. Quantal Fink with Monodium. Ooh, this is a cool Monodium build. This is like using Bystials and the Kashiras. I might have to steal this list. This is a good looking list. I like it. Alright, we got Cloth here. They were on Mathmech. What is this card, though? Armored Bitron. Level 2 Cybers. Dark, 500 attack, 0 defense. You can treat this card, special summon 1 Cybers monster from your deck, except Armored Bitron, but negate its effects. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except Cybers monsters. What? I didn't know Cybers has had a Lone Fire Blossom. That's cool. The link 3 or higher link monster controls for a battle card. I special summon... Oh, wow. Yeah, wow, I never knew this card existed. What the fuck? I didn't know Cybers has had a Lone Fire Blossom. That's cool. Yeah, I might have to try this card out. They're on Singularity. Let's go. This card is so good. Ooh, this is a Grass Chaos build. We've even got a set of left arm offerings and then 3 Dark Spirits Mastery. Wait, what is this grabbing? A Destiny board or a level 8 Fiend monster. Oh, that searches the Ogre Dance and the Lava Golem. That's really fucking cute. That's not just cute. That's downright adorable. Wow. That's I never really thought about utilizing a card like this to give Punk even more extenders, like make it even more consistent, right? I feel like, well, see, here's the thing, right? Oh my god. I say oh my god because I can so see a world where I would think about or suggest this, and then you just know what everybody's going to say, right? Loses to Droll. Loses to Droll. Loses to Droll. This is why I really, really hate the loses to insert card argument. Those of you who have played Magic, I'm sure are familiar with Dies to Doomblade, and how joked about and memed of an argument that is. Magic at least figured that out. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has not figured that out yet as a community. That saying that a card or a deck loses to any one card is a say-nothing statement, right? And I can so see a world where, like, people may have thought to try a tech like this in decks like this, but then somebody tells them, oh, but that just loses to Droll. And then they're like, oh, okay, I guess you're right, and they don't try it. But here we have 31 in the Duelist Cup. And yeah, we see techs like Dark Spirits Mastery to grab exactly Ogre Dance or Lava Golem. It seems cool. And this is, I see this a lot on the channel, but this very much highlights this idea of, like, if you want to try out an idea, just fucking do it. Especially for Ranked Ladder, where there's, like, no long-term or, like, even short-term major consequences. It's like, just try something out. Like, don't let people tell you it loses to Droll, or it loses to Maxi, or it loses to Shifter, or it's bad in this meta, because people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like, let's be frank. People as a whole don't know what they're talking about. So try it out. It could work. You could get in the top 100 the Duelist Cup. Who knows? Alright, we got another 60 card branded list here. Seems relatively standard. Got another Math Mech list here. The double Nibiru. Nibiru is actually a lot better now than it had been, I think, before the last selection pack. Another Vanquish Soul list here. More 60 card branded. Lots of branded, too. I'm sure nobody's surprised. Alright, got another very standard Pearly list here. We are using the Rate Soth for the Fenrir, which is a little unstandard, however you want to say it, but I think this is much, much, much better than using Dark Worlds or Shadalus, personally. Okay, got another 60 card branded list. Oh, here's another Adventure Tri-Sprite. This is cool. Ooh, these make me want to play Tri-Sprite. I haven't played Tri-Sprite in a long time. I just realized that. Wow, that like just occurred to me. Somehow this is a Sprite variant I've just not played at all recently. I need to fix that. Oh, this is Endymion. Cool. Endymion list with 0 hand traps. Again, you know, there are some times where people will be like, oh, I've got this cool list I've been working on. Doesn't have any hand traps. And it's like, oh, you're just going to lose. But it's like, rank 42 in the Duelist Cup. Just saying. Got the Vanquish Soul list here. Looking decently standard. Kashira splashed into this Vanquish Soul list. Ooh, here's an Adagnister list. Looks like it's running pretty much everything that they typically do. Yeah, which I only know because of I Wish I Was Dead. So this is another deck I still haven't gotten around to yet. I've been meaning to play Adagnister like since literally before I even made that video with I Wish I Was Dead. And then I made that video and I was like, finally, now I have a resource that I can look at, and I haven't used it yet. But if only I had the time. Here's another Math Mech list, looking fairly standard. Another Runic Stun. But Fountain to 1 was surely the correct hit. Anyway. And I just know, I can already see the smartass comments that are saying, this just means Fountain needs to go to 0. You're not funny. Or right, by the way. Okay, so we have Ignister here with the 3 Book of Eclipse. This is definitely taking some inspiration from I Wish I Was Dead. Which, you know, definitely a good source to take inspiration from, for sure. Got rank number 54 here on Lab with the Power Sync Stone. I would expect to see more of this in Lab in general moving forward, because it was on the Duelist Cup multiple times. Got their Vanquish Soul list there. Dragon Link. Lots of 51 card decks I'm noticing between Branded and Dragon Link. Yo, it's Naturia Runic. This is awesome. It's so nice to see a Runic variant that's not stunned actually flourishing in a competitive format. That's cool. Definitely good for them, for sure. Got a couple of lists from this person here. They were on Ghost Trick Pearly, as well as 60 card Branded. Ooh, with the Eldritch! God, Eldritch making its first Duelist Cup appearance probably since, like, just about the first Duelist Cup, honestly. That's so cool. That's so cool. Cool to see Eldritch here again. With the Galaxy Cyclone 2. Wait, I saw Assault Synchron. Oh, it's a Chaos list. Okay. Yeah, I saw the Shinobi and the Assault Synchron. I was like, huh. I mean, this list is obviously still very, 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 very cool. This person also on Dark Spirits Mastery. That's cool. I wonder if they collabed for their builds. Okay, we got 40-ish, 43 card Dragon Link list here. Vanquish Soul list, looking pretty standard. 60 card Branded, looking fairly standard. Yep. 43 card D-Link on the Bestial Aliber. Pretty interesting tech there. Another Ghost Trick Pearly list. Another Vanquish Soul list. Oh, wait, this one has... No, okay, I just saw the Synchros in the extra deck. I saw the Golden Cloud Beast, and I was like, huh, but... Oh, it's the Dogmatica Ecclesia. Oh, that one's not a tuner. Never mind. That Ecclesia isn't a tuner. What is their tuner, then? Is it just Ash Blossom? Or maybe they're just sending it... I don't know. I do see they have... Oh, is it part of the Nadir Servant package? If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one face... It is! Okay. Okay, good to know. Oh, it's Dinosaur. Wow, Dino's got top 100. That's cool. That's really cool. Hell yeah. GG Dinos. That's rad. 40 card D-Link list here. Getting close to the bottom now. We're at 92. Had a couple of different Vanquish Soul lists. This is going to be another spot the difference, isn't it? This one has 1 Retaliating Sea. This list has 2. Otherwise... Oh, this list also... Oh, okay, so... It's a 1 card difference in the main deck. This list has 2 Retaliating Sea, 0 Snow Devil. This list has 1 Retaliating Sea and Snow Devil. So, I don't know if it was like they needed Snow Devil for a specific matchup, or if they just wanted more Retaliating Seas for most matchups. Extra decks look pretty much exactly the same, yep. A third Tri-Brigade Sprite list here. In the top 100. Yeah, this definitely... Oh, this list on Cyber Skagit! Let's go! I even said in my Sprite Synchro video that when I was testing the deck, I found myself thinking that, like, Cyber Skagit definitely seems like it could very easily have a function even outside of, like, Sprite Synchro in other Sprite lists. So, really, really cool to see this person play the Tri-Sprite with the Cyber Skagit. This is so cool. This is so awesome to see. Oh my god, I want to try this list out. Oh, this person on 2 different 60-card Chaos lists. I'm not going to play Spot the Difference here. Although I do see the Raigeki and Feather Duster off the top of my head. But... Oh, and no Thrust in this list either. Okay. I guess that's probably going to be the main difference there. But, yeah, I won't look for every single difference, but... Interesting all the same. I'm very surprised to see our first Zodiac list here in the top 100. I thought there would have been more. Oh my god, 3 of each Solemn, 3 of each Solemn Judgment, Warning, and Strike. That's really cute. Also, only the Fenrir's, no other Kashira cards. So this was a very, like, pure Zodiac deck. Again, surprised to see only the 1 in the top 100 here. And then we have our last list here, which is going to be another Endymion list. So, alright. So we know that Konami does dole out ban list hits based on the Duelist Cup, particularly the top 100. That being the case, I would expect to see Vanquish Soul probably take a hit on a very... If not the next ban list, probably the one afterward. Whatever their pack cycles out of the shop, which I think will be after the next list, but I'm not sure off the top of my head. But... I would expect them to get some kind of a hit. I don't necessarily think they do, but Konami definitely goes after what does well in the Duelist Cup, which I don't like because, again, as I've said multiple times now, it's its own separate format, so it should be evaluated separately, but okay. Branded Despia, I think Albion needs to go, honestly. Even though we did not see any Gimmick Puppet shenanigans, it's like, it's for the same reason Expulsion had to go. A deck that is definitely tier 1 just shouldn't have access to tools that can do that. And I've said this point so many times, but to people who are like, oh, just ban all the different cards that enable it. No, we can't do that. We should not take away a bunch of tools from weaker decks so that Branded can keep its 29th boss monster. Like, it's okay. Albion can get banned. Branded players can attend the funeral with Lubellion and the other Lubellion and the other 2 Albions and Mirror Jade and Sprind and Rindbrum and Granganol and Lulubelilith and, yeah, literally every other Branded boss monster. It's fine. It'll be okay. And moreover, like, again, with banning everything that makes it a problem, that's banning a bunch of cards. And the argument that people will make for that is that, like, oh, well, it's fine because those cards don't really do anything. But it's like, no, that's such a lie. Especially, it's so disingenuous. I saw one person in particular say, we can keep Sanctifier and just ban everything else, including, and they listed a bunch of the cards. And they got to DD Orthos, and they called it this card that DDD doesn't even use. And it's like, you're wrong. You're 100% wrong. DDD uses Orthos as part of its main combo line. DDD should not be able to not have a... Let me phrase that better. DDD should not lose its main combo line so that, again, Branded can keep its 29th boss monster. But other than that, I don't know what else... I don't know how else Brandon really gets hit at this point. Like, Fusion's already at 1. Do we just limit Aliber too? Does Brandon even need to be hit? Do we hit the Bestial engine? That might actually be the answer, honestly, but... Pearly, we still don't have a Pearly Noir yet, like the baby, or the second stage Noir. So I'd be a little surprised if they received another major hit before we got that. But I could also see Delicious Memory going to 1. Should probably just happen anyway, honestly. Well, I don't know. Does it even really need to happen? This is kind of a weird meta to kind of analyze ban list hits, honestly, because, like, I kind of feel like there's not any one thing that's like a major problem. Even though I do think Albion Sanctifiers should get banned, I don't think that's a major problem. But I could just be forgetting something. Who knows? I did say we're going to look at a tournament result as well. We'll look over the Decade Meta Weekly fairly briefly here. Like, as I was saying, very diverse meta. So... I don't really know. I don't really know, like, what all is going to get hit here. We got Mikako taking it all. That's cool. Pearly in second place. Again, you see Pearly doing well in Duelist Cup and tournaments, even though you don't see it in ladder, which honestly does make sense to me. Ooh, Constellar getting third. Got Monadium. 60 card Thunder Dragon Bestial Monadium. I saw this list. I actually saw this list, funnily enough, like, right after I recorded my own Bestial Monadium video, so... or shortly after, I don't know if it was right after, but yeah, this is a really cool list, and it definitely makes more sense to me to play like the Bestials and Assault Synchron if you're going for a layout like this. Very cool stuff, very cool stuff. Got another D-Link. I think it's actually our first for this particular tournament top. Adventure D-Link list here. Adventure Plunder. Hell yeah, we'd love to see the Plunder. Adventure Runic Plunder. Wow. Again, I'm glad to see that Runic is still able to do well, despite Fountain going to 1. The non-stun variants, anyway. VS. Another Dino deck. Dino doing pretty well in both tournaments in VS. Or, I mean, VS. DC, rather. Stun is stun is stun is stun. Here's a 60-card branded list with the Puppet Lock. Again, while I don't think it's, like, the most major problem in the world, this card does just need to go to 0. Plunder Lab, 2 Plunder lists. That's awesome. Toad, I'm sure you are eating well. Got another Mikanko list here. Another Vanquish Soul list here. Cashier with the Fossil Dinas. There's one list in particular I'm looking forward to getting to. Saucy Senpai! Saucy Senpai always has the coolest Twin Sprite lists, including Synchro Twin Sprite lists, including this one, where they ran 3 Fallen of Argyros, as well as some other spicy techs like Core of Chaos and Shadow's Light as well. We also got the new level 6 Synchro Tuner here in the extra deck. Just always cool. Always cool to see this these lists from Saucy Senpai. Saucy Senpai, if you're out there, if you happen to watch these videos, I'd love to have you on the channel sometime to talk about Twin Sprite, because you make some pretty cool decks. Not gonna lie at all. But there we have it. There we have this week in Master Duel. Again, the big one for me was talking about the DC top 100 decks here. So definitely let me know what you all think in the comments section below. If you disagree about how Duelist Cup is run, that it should be run differently, or if you disagree with me and you think that Duelist Cup is fine as is, either way, I would definitely love to hear your take. But let's go ahead and for now just move on to our outro. Alright everybody, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching it all the way to the very end. That means a whole lot to me, and it's also a fantastic way to support the channel. And if you're interested in supporting the channel in other ways besides YouTube, there are plenty of ways to do that. If you check out the description below, you'll find a bunch of links down there. One of them goes to my Patreon. You're actually seeing the names of everyone subscribed to the Patreon on the screen right now. So if you're interested in getting your name in the credits here at the end, if you want to see more daily Master Duel content, or if you're interested in one-on-one private coaching sessions I offer offer all of that on Patreon. I also stream live on Twitch. Feel free to go ahead and click that link and follow and or subscribe there. I also have the Discord community, if you want to follow that link, where hundreds of duelists have already signed up. Free to join, and you can just come hang out, talk about the game, and chill in general. Final link that's going to be in the description is my Twitter. You can follow that if you want some more notifications of what's happening with the channel. So, all in all, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day.